a quick walkthrough video for Twin Stars. It's a single-player dice series by myself, Jason Tegmeyer, and Mike Mullins. It started out as 3-card scenario packs with a scenario and 2 characters. Provide your own dice, provide your own tokens, usually like coins or wooden cubes or whatever you want. And now the newest version is a full Kickstarter campaign with multiple characters, multiple scenarios, some released before and some new stuff. And in the campaign we're also doing some custom tokens in case you don't want to provide your own. So there's like a deluxe edition that comes with these. They're thicker than this. These are just ones I cut out just for example, but there's a whole bunch of those. So here's how you play the game. I'll start with the first scenario that we made, Escape the Brig. So Escape the Brig has, this is just kind of the flavor and the setup. It just requires 4 to 6 coins or tokens. It tells you the difficulty levels that you use energy and the 2 characters that it's recommended with, but you can and should play it with any. So Escape the Brig. 2 of you are locked up together and need to break free. You can dig a tunnel, but need to watch out for the guard. There's also a pick that you can use to assist in your escape, but you need to be careful. You must escape to win. If the guard reaches the tunnel, you lose. So the guard's going to start here. If it reaches the tunnel here, you lose. The player is going to start here, and if it reaches escape, you win. So, mess with that light a little bit. That did not help. That should help. There we go. Okay. So Escape the Brig. And we're going to play with Strazelsior, Nerved Out Onwodak from the Wimstar, and Inzil May, a Razor Sharp Daed from the Caves of Delling. You might recognize both of these from the game Pod X. They were both the main characters of our game Pod X. And they're back for Twin Stars. This was our original initial scenario and characters, so this is kind of almost the easiest one as well. You'll see. So to set up, we need to place, and you can just use pennies or whatever. The pick goes here. The guard starts there. Now I use the line. Some people use the space in between. It all evens out usually in the end, but I use the lines. So the guard's going to start there. The 2 characters are going to start here. Our energy is just going to get piled up right here. And we're going to start at full health, always. Strazelsior has 4, Inzil has 3. I use 2 sets of dice, 2 for the characters. You're going to roll and apply them to each character. And then another set for the skill checks that come into play sometimes. It's nice to have an extra set because your die may not get removed from the character at the time, and having that extra set of dice makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to run through a game. Everything's set up. We're good to go. In order to win, the players need to escape. The characters need to escape. In order to lose, the guard needs to get to the end where he can see the characters, and you lose. You also lose if you run out of health. Either character runs out of health. So, 2 stars. Advance forward in the tunnel, 1 space, or you can take the pick, which gives you some bonuses. In order to advance through the tunnel, I need 2 stars, which means we're going to roll dice. And if we eventually end up with a 4 and a 1, we have our 2 stars. We take our double star combo. So you're going to roll dice. You're going to apply them. If you get combos, check the scenario, and those things are going to happen. 2 check marks, which are a little bit easier to get, especially with these characters, because there's more of them. So if I have the 6 and the 4, we get 2 checks. Advance forward in the tunnel, 1 space, and skill check, which means you have to roll dice and see if they fit within the skill check range of your characters. So one of the dice, one die needs to fit into one character, and one needs to fit in the other in order to successfully pass that skill check. If you fail the skill check, you just lose a heart, one character, either character. But you need both to not. You'll read this, you advance, and then you skill check. So no matter what, you are going to advance forward. But your skill check is just going to determine whether you lose a heart doing it or not. So if you were extremely skillful in doing so, you don't lose the heart. But if you mess up a little bit along the way, you're going to take a hit for it. So with a 4 and a 2 here, I can fit the 4 within Strzelcyr's 3, 4, 5. I can fit the 2 within Inzil's 1 through 4. If I had a 5 and a 6, I'd be in trouble here because I can only fit a 5 on Strzelcyr, and a 6 doesn't fit on Inzil. A 5 doesn't fit on Inzil, a 6 doesn't. So their range, it's not too difficult. I would have failed right there. Although there are ways for you to manipulate this, and that's your energy and other things. But a 4 and a 5, I can fit the 4 here and the 5 there. Excuse me. So the other option on the double check is to distract the guard and send him back one space. So if he's here, I can choose to send him back here instead of advancing myself forward. It depends on if I can risk the skill. I might be low in health and not take the risk. Distracting the guard doesn't have any downside. You just knock him back one. If we get the double, what I call them our alerts, the exclamation points for our characters, if we eventually end up at a 3 and a 3, for example, or at a 1 in pretty much anything, because Inzil has that really bad double 1, we're going to alert the guard, move them forward one space. Every time we do an instant, so an instant here is use another character's instant, which would be here, re-roll. If you roll a 5, -3 to the die, or heart, let's say negative heart, so minus health to both characters, then knock this die down 1, which is an easy way to get a star. Or place the other die on any number. So let's say I place it on the 4, and then re-roll this die, trying to get that 5 or 6. So it's an easy way to get your checks, your double checks. But every time you do an instant, you have to do a skill check. 5, 6, which is terrible for these characters because they don't fit within their range. Or, instead of the skill check, I can just alert the guard and move them forward a space. So there are some options in there in how you want to approach this. But basically the game is going to go as follows. You're going to roll your character dice. You're going to, let's reset it real quick. Apply them to characters. They each have to go on one character or on a different character. So if I can put the 2 on Inzil May, and then the 4, and you roll dice, you apply. I can take an instant if I would like to. They're optional. I can skip the instant. Effects are not optional. And then once both dice are on the characters, I check for a combo to see if anything up here happens. So after that, if no combo happens, I have to knock a die down a pip, and then I take the other die back and re-roll it. So I might not put the 2 here because next turn it's going to go down to a 1 to go there. So I'm going to just play. Probably better at playing than explaining. So I roll my dice. I have a 2 and a 5. I'm going to put the 2 on Strzelcyr. I'm going to skip the instant, which gives him a 1 because I don't have a 4 here anyway, so I place the 5 there. The 5 is a check. I don't have a combo. I don't have 2 symbols that match up here. So I have to reduce one die and then re-roll the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce Strzelcyr down to a 1. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to reduce this one down to a 4 and re-roll this die. I'd rather re-roll Strzelcyr because he doesn't have that crazy double. So there, I got a check. So we have, right now, if you can see, Get my dice right on the bottom. We have star. I don't know if I call it a check, but we have star and alert. No combos, no instants. I'm going to keep going. To knock this down to a 2, I don't take my instant. You don't take an instant when you knock down. Only on a natural roll or a re-roll or some sort of manipulation. So I have a 2. I don't do my instant, but I get to take this back and re-roll it, which I told you was scary with Inzil. Which, bam, there I got the double 1. The two alerts, which is bad. It's our first alert, so it's a combo because there's 2 of them. Alert guard, moving forward 1 space. Boom, there he goes. He's up 1. After you do any combo, you take both dice back and basically start over again. So we're back at the first phase of rolling. So I have a 6-2. 6 is a check here. A 2 is the instant for Inzil, which is really good, but has that scary downside. A 6-2 over here is a check and then an instant. But I'm going to take this because I want to knock this down and re-roll because I have this great little run of 6-5-4. So place this here, nothing happens, no combos. I'm skipping the instant. And I'm going to knock this down a pip and re-roll. 3. So now my combo is a check alert. Doesn't do anything up here. I'm going to knock this down 1 more, and I'm hoping for that nice star at 1. I don't have it. But instant. -1 heart to both characters. Did I knock this one down 1 by accident? I think I did. I didn't do anything yet. Yeah, so knock both characters down 1, and then -1 to this die. Which means now we have a combo. 4 star and 1 star. 2-star combo. Advance forward in the tunnel 1 space or take the pick. The pick gives me an extra combo, which is star check, advance forward, and then skill check double hearts, or I can drop the pick. So I don't have to keep going with that. It's a little bit of a press your luck, but I'm going to take the pick because I'm a risk taker. So I have the pick here. I didn't move forward, but now I get to move forward with a different combo. So let's try it. Let's roll. 5-4. 5-4 is that combo, if I want to take it this way, which I should. Although I do have that skill check, which is scary. These have a decent range. Other than 5-4, I could put this on the star, re-roll. If I roll a 5, -3 to this die, which takes it down to the 2, which I would have to knock these down and I'd get a star and I'd move up 1. But my health is wearing me. Anyway, I'm going to try for the combo. 5-4. Pick, advance forward, 1. And I skill check double hearts. 4-5. I got the 4 fits on Inzil, the 5 fits on Strazelsier. I don't take those, the double loss of hearts. So that's good. I move forward 1. We're doing all right. Since we comboed, we start over. 6-1. 6. So the one thing I didn't talk about is when you get down to 1, you can't knock your die down again. So you do get limited with 1s. They're a little bit of trouble. So what I'm going to do is reset the 6 on Inzil because she has that really good run. Put the 1 on here. Knock this down to a 5 because I did not combo. Oh, I'm sorry. I do combo because of my pick. Sweet. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm going to try. I'm not going to drop the pick. I'm going to keep pressing my luck. I got 1-3, which I can fit the 3 on Strazelsier, the 1 on Inzil, and bam, I'm moving along. I did not lose 2 health. So I comboed. I'm re-rolling. 5-3. I can't make a combo with 5-3 to help me here. So let's look at what I have for my instance. If I put this on, I'm going to go 5-3 here. And I'm going to hope for the star roll. So 5 gets me a check, 3 gets me an alert, but it's only 1. It's not that bad. So I'm going to do my knockdown. 5 down to a 4, and re-roll this die. It's a star, so I have 3 out of 6 chance of something decent, which I got a second star. Second star is awesome because I don't have to use the risk of the pick. I just get to advance forward in the tunnel 1 space. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm at above average health. The guards only moved 1, and I have the pick in hand, and I'm only 2 spaces from winning. 5-3. 5-3. This is the same roll as before. A 5-3 is not going to do me any good. I'm going to knock down to a 4. Reroll this one. I've gotten a 4. So that is right here, the pick. I'm gonna roll both of these and hope and fail. So 4-6 are my skill check dice. I can fit a 4 in either, but I can't fit a 6 in either. So here's where some things come into play. If I'm on easy mode, I get 3 of these. With the 3 of these, I can always discard 1 energy for a reroll of a die. Since I'm playing on easy mode, I'm in a good position. I still have 3 of them. I have, I can reroll my skill check die. I could do it again and again until I pass the skill check, and then I'm going to be out of these for the game. That's one option. Another option is I can spend. I have special actions, and in this case they all use energy, but in others they don't use energy. This one uses double alerts depending on the scenario. It could be really bad. So, but if I spend 1 energy here, Inzil can gain a health. So this one isn't too difficult, and I'm doing pretty good. So I'm going to spend 1 energy to reroll this die. All I need is a 3, 4, or 5, or even a 1 or a 2. I'm in a really good position. So I got the 1, so I can apply the 1 here and put the 4 here and pass my skill check. And I don't take my double damage. So I'm done with my skill check dice. I'm done with my combo. I'm going again. 3-6. 3s are tough in this scenario because they're no good for either. I can use another character's instant, but his instants aren't wonderful for her. So I'm going to do my thing where I put the 6 on this awesome track here, knock it down to a 5, reroll there. I got a 6, which is good. I called it reroll, but it's not technically a reroll. Effect, if rolled on a reroll, this would be an alert. An alert. A reroll is technically when I spend 1 of these to reroll, or this is a reroll because it's called a reroll. This one is place the die on a number and reroll this die. But when you knock down, you take a die back and you roll it. It's not considered a reroll. So boom, I've got double check. Double check is advance forward and skill check. It's only 1. It's not as bad as the pick. A 4-6, which we know is terrible. I'm going to take this one, reroll my 6. I got a 1. We know that we can do a 1-4. That's what we had last time. Boom, I'm good. I'm 1 away. We're in a really good position here. Okay, so we start over. 3-6. Boom, I'm doing my 3-6. Knock this one down, re-roll here, 2. Okay, this 2 does not help me here, but I can really take a risk here because I'm only 1 from escape. So my chances, I knock both characters down 1, then knock this die down by 1, which gives me my combo for the pick. With this combo, I can advance forward 1 space and then double skill check, or drop the pick. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to advance forward 1 space, but I need to finish this to complete the game. I can't just, say I hit there. You have to finish your action. So I have to do this skill check. If I lose this skill check, I'm losing 2. This one can lose 1 and is dead. This one can lose 2 and is dead. So no matter what, I'm in big trouble. Let's see what we got. 4-4. It works. Boom. It's right in my range. Escape. Success. If I'd failed that, I could knock this down to reroll. Or I could knock this down to move up 1, and then we both go down 1. And we would have still won the scenario, being both at 1 health, using her special to bump her up 1. So we got to the end. The pick really helped us out. Sometimes it doesn't. There's a nice wide range here. Some characters have an even smaller range of 2 for their skill check. This 4 is just, she's very, very good. She's, I think, the only one with 4 in at least the batch that I have here. So we were super lucky and made out well on our skill checks, and we escaped. The pick helped us out. Sometimes it can really hurt. The guard, he moved slowly. We didn't end up with a lot of 1s. We had a lot of manipulation. And that's basically how Escape the Brig works.